So in the last class, we discussed on filters on dimensions. Like we have general, wildcard, condition, and top. So we have gone through like general wildcard. In wildcard, we have gone through like we have contains, starts, ends with, right? And we do have condition. We have seen different options, condition. So where you can straight away drag and drop any of the dimension and simply go back to condition, and you can choose existing option, that is what by field, and you can choose the condition based on the values. Okay. And we also done with another option, which is the same. You can drag and drop the filter into filter shelf, but you have this option by formula. We don't prefer this particular option because we can write a calculation. But yes, this is also flexible where you can also write a condition by using formula. Okay. And I also showed one more example, like you can see here, conditional sales, condition sales, where you can write if condition, or you can straight away write sum of sales greater than or equal to 100K. Anything is fine. So that will become a Boolean statement. Or if you want to write an if condition and you can choose your own naming convention, that is also fine. Okay. So mostly you'll get clarity on these if conditions in the coming classes. And in the last option, like in filters on dimension, the last option is like, so we can showcase top 5 or bottom 5 or top 10 or bottom 10. So this is more flexible, but even I'm going to showcase one more time when it comes to like parameters, because we can pass dynamic values. Basically, this is static, correct? This is, we used to get top 5 based on dynamic sales value, but every time we are going to showcase only 5. If you want to showcase top 10, top 15, that is not possible straight away using filters. So we have a concept called as parameters. We can use that. We can create parameters and we can make use of dynamic functionality of ranking, like top 10, top 20, top 30, or whatever the number. So I'll showcase that. So this is what we discussed in the last class. So the next topic is filters on measures. Filters on measures. When you compare with filters on dimensions, this is pretty simple. So let me double click on subcategory and sales. So we do have subcategory by sales. If you want to do sorting, you can do sorting as well. Let's drag and drop into columns to create a bar chart. And we have labels, just drag and drop sales into labels. Okay. So now, do you remember like we written a condition, right? So let's say if you want to display sales greater than 100K, yes, we used filter condition, drag and drop subcategory into filters. The other option also we have gone through like the same option by use by formula, correct? And in the condition 3, we written a calculation to showcase sales greater than 100K, this one. Okay. But filters on measures is pretty simple. You can drag and drop sales into filters. Don't go for all values. Basically, you need to go for aggregation. Let's use sum. Or if you already have the same measure in the report, just click on this drop down. You can go for quick filter first. Okay. You can go for quick filter. This is pretty simple. You can see you are getting a slider. So this is a minimum value. This is a maximum value. And when you edit, so you'll get these options. Remember, we have range of values, at least, at most, and special. Okay. So we have range of values. at least, at most. So range of values is nothing but, so we have a flexibility to select minimum value and maximum value. Okay, you can provide minimum or you can provide maximum by using this slider. So you can see here, you can use slider to limit those numbers, or let's say I want to display more than 100k, right? So as I said in the previous condition, so if you want to display sales greater than 100k, this is what the condition. But whenever you're using slider, you're unable to fit exact value. Okay, that's the only limitation we have. So I'm able to fit at 100 799, but I want to fix exactly at 100k. Okay, I'm just trying to fit by using this scroll bar. I'm trying to fit exactly at 100k, but I'm unable to fix that. But this, we have a flexibility where you can type in actually. Okay, so yes, we have slider. Okay, this is flexible, but even if you want to point exactly at a particular number, right? So you can type in 100k. Okay, so this is where you can pass like passing in the sense you can type in. Okay, so basically if you want to display sales greater than 100k, this is also one more option. So we used filters on dimensions where we applied condition, right, by field sum of sales greater than 100k, or by formulas sum of sales greater than 100k, or we written a calculation, right? But filters on measure, how simple it is when you compare with filters on dimension. So but only for that specific condition, this is what the advantage. So if you want to apply, let's say sales greater than 100k and 200k, so I can type in 200k here. So this is what the sales in between 100 and 200k. So that's the option, more flexible. So you have range of values, right click, edit filter. So you have range of values where you can provide minimum and maximum. Clear, right? And if you want to go for only minimum value, right? So mostly 90% of the cases, I do feel we used to go for range of values. But sometimes if they wants to restrict the user to select only minimum value, not maximum. Okay, so you can select only minimum value. You understand, right? So you can select only minimum, not maximum. Let me edit. So if you can see here, let's click apply. Show filter, right click, edit filter. So click OK. So I'm not sure why it is happening. This is range of values at least. So let me drag and drop sales into filter. Why it is showing only top 5? We're getting at most. Okay, let's see here, show filter. So we can select maximum value. This is at most. Let me select from here. I'm not sure why it is not working. So yeah, now it is working fine. I'm not sure initially why it is not considering some set of records. This won't happen generally, but yeah. So you can see you can select a minimum value and maximum value. So that's a flexibility you do have. And let's go back to click on drop down. You can see at least. So even for at least, you can see that's the issue we are facing here. So let's go for range of values. At least you can see I'm facing some issue. At least you can select minimum value and maximum value. At most is also working fine. Okay, so let me recreate one more. Let me recreate. So it's not working for at least, I think. So I have subcategory wise sales. Okay, so let me sort it out and just click on this drop down, show filter. So have this range of values. Okay, let's select at least one, at least. I'll check on this actually. Okay, so did I write any condition here? I didn't see. Okay, let me check with profit. You understand, right? So the issue. So basically for at least, I'm not able to see few of the records. So you have this minimum value minus 17K. So minus 17,000 to 55K. That's a range of values. You can provide minimum and maximum. Let's select at least if anything goes wrong. Now you can see here, right? It doesn't change anything. So when you go for at least or range of values, so the only point I want to showcase is like when you use range of values, you have a flexibility to select minimum and maximum. But when you select at least, okay, so now you have to go for only minimum value. Let's say I want to display greater than zero, say like profit greater than zero, or let's say I want to display profit greater than 20K, right? So that's a flexibility we do have. So you can provide only minimum value, right? At least or minimum value. So the maximum value is disabled. Okay, let's go for at most. Now the minimum value is disabled. Now you can provide, okay, sales less than 30K, right? You can provide sales less than 30K or sales less than 100, 10K, sorry, not 100K. Something like this. You can provide a number. So minimum value or maximum value, but not sure why it is happening for sales. I look into that because you can see. So when you go for sales, let's sort it out. So when you go for sum of sales, you can go for at least straight away. Let's look into this. So it's different. Like I'm not sure why exactly it's happening. Even you understand, right? So whenever I'm going for at least, when you go for at least, so this is not working properly. So that's the issue I'm facing here. So I'll check on this. Okay. So I'm not sure why it is happening because we didn't apply any condition, right? So edit filter, let's go for range of values. Even for range of values, sometimes we are facing the issue. Okay, so I'll look into this, why it is happening for at least. Okay, but let's put aside, this is what the requirement. As I said, right, this is very simple where you can provide minimum value and maximum value. So mostly we'll do this actually. So we'll give access to the users to select minimum or maximum. Okay. Any questions on this? I look into the sales. I'm not sure why it is happening, but so this is where filters on measures. It's actually very simple to select range of values, at least or at most. But you have another option, the last one, special, right? So you don't worry about this. Basically we have to go for all values. If you have any null values or not null, basically if you have null values, you generally get a pop-up, so you don't worry about null values and all those things. Okay, so this is what range of values. Importantly, we do have filters on date, but before going to filters on date, let me know if you have any questions. Okay, any questions?
Ramesh,
Yes.
I don't understand the problem you are having there. Can you explain?
Yeah, I just closed. The problem basically is like when you use at least option, right? I'm going to showcase that. That's the reason I'm creating a new workbook. Okay. Sometimes, like because of some functionality is missing, like I'm not sure, maybe Tableau is behaving something. So what I have done is I created subcategory by sales. Okay. And click on this drop down, show filter. Let's sort it out so that you'll understand. So when you use range of values, you are getting minimum and maximum, right? This is minimum and this is max, correct? Here, what I mean to say is whenever I'm going to use at least, now it's working fine. You can see at least you can select minimum value. But when it comes to the old workbook, right, which I'm using, when I select at least, I'm able to see the top 5. You understand, right? So I'm unable to see all the records. That's the issue I have faced. Now, if you open, you create, I just created a new worksheet. This is new workbook and I'm using the same sales information. So when you select at least, okay, when you use at least, so I'm able to see all the records. So now I can pass minimum value. So what is the minimum value? So at least I want to display in between or greater than 100K. So that's what I mean to say. But in the previous workbook, I have an issue. I'm not sure. That's the first time I'm facing. So in the previous workbook, like when you use at least, right, you're able to get only 5 records. Even I cleared all the options, filters, but I'm able to see only 5 records. That's all. That's the issue I'm facing. So you don't worry about that. Okay.
Sounds good.
Any questions? So we have filters on date. Very interesting. So like important as well. So I'll go for range of dates. Then I'll go for relative date filter. So you'll understand. So we do have filters on date. So let's create a report here. So I'm going to use order dates. As I said, the advantage of order date or the date data type, right? You can see. So now I'm using filters on dimension. I use filters on dimension, filters on measure, but order date or date is also a dimension, right? Date column is also a dimension, but I just differentiated filters on date. So basically date is nothing but the data type is date. Okay. For other dimensions, so we don't like differentiate it, but this is only the data type differentiation between filters on dimension and filters on date. So both are dimensions, but now I'm going to use a date related data type columns. So when you know, right, when you drag and drop order date default, you'll get year of order date. This is default. Let me drag and drop into columns. Again, you can drag and drop order date into rows and click on this drop down. One of the advantages, if you want to showcase month level, click on month. Okay. So I want to showcase year wise, month wise sales information. Even you can click on this drop down. You can see quarter level, year level, month. Okay. And you can also see the differentiation. We have year, quarter, month, week numbers. I'll tell you what is the exact difference between this first
I
half.
have a question, Ramesh.
Yes.
Can you, so what you're saying is you can drop dimensions into rows and columns.
Okay.
Is it possible for you to drag that dimension into row and at the same time you drag dimension into column? I was thinking it has to be
So you mean to say
dimension.
like you want to drop here?
No, what I'm saying is because each measure, each dimension and measure, they are, so how do I put it? Dimensions define measures, right?
Okay.
There's a relation, there's always a relation between dimension and measure. So, but what you did now is you put order date in row and then put order date again in column.
Yes.
Now.
So you don't worry about columns and rows. Okay.
Okay.
The columns and rows are just display purpose. Let's say, let me use say profit or sales, whatever let's say I'm going to use sales. So the display, you can see we are getting column wise, right? But when you swap, now you can see year of order date in columns. When you swap, now this looks good for readable, right? 2018, 19, 20, 21. Now when you use year of order date in rows, this looks pretty good. But when you swap, you're getting column level data. It depends on the view, like whether you want to prefer rows or columns. But let's say I'm going to create a bar graph. If you want to go for horizontal bar graph, this is what you can see here. Year in rows, sales in columns, correct? Now when you swap, this is also looks good, right? Now year in columns, initially year in rows, you can swap. So you don't worry about a dimension in columns or dimension in rows. Depends on the display.
Yeah, Ramesh.
Yes.
If I should understand what Gustin was saying was that is it okay to put in two dimensions, one in the column row and the other in the rows? Like you put in two dimensions earlier, not one dimension and measure. So he was asking if it was okay to put in two dimensions on those slots.
You can place any number of dimensions in columns or rows. Okay. So that's what the initial discussion, right? So you don't worry about, that's what I mean to say. You can place any number of dimensions in rows or any number of dimension in columns. Okay. But what display you want to, like what report you want to create. So based on that, you need to prefer whether I need to place a dimension in rows or dimension in columns. So now what I mean to say is I can use, so yeah, I understand the question. You can see here, let's say I have year wise, right? I have year of order date and I'm using a different version. I think so. Okay, no problem. So I'm using I'm using 2021 version. I think everyone have the same, so no worries. So you have this year of order date in column, like in rows. Now I can drill down, or whenever I'm going to use order date into rows, you will get default quarter, but I want to showcase month level. Okay, click on month. So for this display, I understand why, what's the confusion is. If this is the display, right? So I can see year wise, month wise sales, correct? Let's say I'm going to use sales. This looks okay, like 2018, 19, 20, 21, correct? But when you look into this particular design or whatever the data we are displaying here in the row level, so you need to scroll down, correct? But if you can make use of year into column, this will be very easy, right? So you can check the same particular month across all the years, right? So that is what cross tabbing. So if you want to use row level, yes, this is also good. This looks good, but you need to scroll down. So let's say I want to check 2018 January sales and 2019 January sales. Again, I need to scroll down to 2020 January sales. And if I want to compare, or at least I want to check, I need to scroll down, and I forgot about 2018 sales value, right? Because I do have, I can see 2020, 2021, 2019 at around 18K. And not sure about 2018, it's 14K. So I need to remember to do some analysis here. But when you use month in rows and year in columns, straight away you can see how much space it is occupied, very less space, and you are able to see like January sales across all the years. And so that you can compare, okay, 2018, this is 2019, 2022, 2020 versus 2021, it's a huge difference, right? You can see for January sales, you understand, right? So that's what I mean to say. So whatever the data, so you can just like you can swap, or let's say if you want to go for year in rows and month in columns, you can swap. If this looks good, if you think this looks good, you can prefer this approach, or you can swap. This looks good, then you can follow the same. But you don't have any restriction to place any number of measures or dimensions. You can use that. Okay.
Ramesh, how are you deleting those items you have on rows and columns? Are you dragging and putting it aside? How do
Yes,
you delete them?
when you drop here in the blank space, right? It's
Oh, it
getting
goes off.
deleted. You can see a cross mark.
Okay, okay,
You can go back.
okay.
So now what I mean to say is like we have filters on measures, we have filters on date. You remember, right? Filters on measures. Remember, like we have range of values. The functionality is like we can select minimum and maximum value. Let's say go for range of values. Now here in the same way, whenever you're going to use, when you drag and drop order date into filters, you'll get two options. Let's put aside all this. You are going to get two options here, relative date and range of dates. You can select anything. You are going to get the same editor. You have relative date and this is range of dates. Okay. When you drag and drop order date into filter, you can click on range of dates or you can click on relative date. Anything is fine. You're going to get the same editor. That's what my point. Okay. But this is relative date. I'll come back to this. Very interesting. But let's complete range of dates here. So what actually range of dates? When you look into this, the minimum date and maximum date, right? So now click on this drop down, show filter. Again, you are getting the slider, correct? Let me use range of values. When you look into this range of values, you're able to see the same slider, right? You can select minimum value, maximum value, correct? And for date as well, you can also use the slider where you can select minimum date and maximum date. So that's the flexibility we do have here. But as I said, let's say I want to fix it exactly like 2019. So I want to see 2019 from 2019 to 2020 December. So now let me try to fix it 2019 January 1st. So I'm unable to fix it January 1st, 2019. I'm able to see January 2nd, 2019. Okay. And let's fix for 2020 December 31st, 2020. So I mean to say it's a waste of time, right? So you can scroll, but at least keep the scroll bar nearer to the date. Then you can click on this drop down or click on this box actually, sorry. Now you have the flexibility to select start date and end date. That's what the advantage here. So when you click on this particular box, right? So what you are getting, January 2019, what date you want to select. So we are getting January 2nd, but click on January 1st. That's it. And what is the end date? You want to showcase December 31st, 2020, select December 31st, 2020. That's it. You can see I'm able to get 2019 and 2020 sales. So that's the flexibility we do have. So let's say click on this. Now you don't slide. You don't want to go for slider. Now you have a flexibility to select start date and end date. So can you tell me what date I can select? So I will tell you how to select year or month or day. Select in between 2018 and 2021. Okay. Let's say if you want to, you have this arrow marks, right? Let's say I want to move to August, correct? So August some date. So have this arrow. So you need to click multiple times to get into August, correct? So it's also a waste of time. You understand, right? So let's click on this drop down. What I mean to say is you can again click on the January name. Okay. When you click on January, you are getting a drop down, you can see. Okay. If you want to select August 2018, select August 2018. Let's say if you want to select August 2019, what we have to do? You don't get a drop down when you click on year, but interestingly, you can type in. So instead of 2018, you can type in 2019, August 1st, 2019. You can see here. You understand, right? So this is the flexibility you have with the date. Even you can also type in here, let's say in the box itself, if you want to go for 2020, and this is January 1st, 2020. So click enter. Okay, you can see January 1st, 2020. And if you want to select some part of date, you have this option. You understand, right? You can type in the box, or you can select from here, or you can also select a particular year from here. Clear? So this is what range of date, where you can select minimum date and maximum date. That's a flexibility we do have with range of dates. Similar to range of values, where you can use slider, but as I said, if you want to fix across particular value, exactly some, like let's say 10K or 20K, you can type in. Similarly for date, if you want, you can type in here. You can see, if you want, you can type in, or if you want, you can click on this drop down. Select the month you want to select, let's say August. If you want to select, let's say 1990, right? You can also type in 1990 from here. Let's say 2020, you can type in 2020. So whatever the year you want to select, you can type in that specific year. Okay. So that's a flexibility we do have with range of dates.
Can you pick a, sorry, Ramesh, can you pick a particular day?
So
Yeah,
you
from
can tell
there.
me what date you want to select. I will select that.
Okay, let's say 10th.
Particular day in January 10th. Yes, you can see
Yeah.
the date, the value is changing. If you want to drill down exactly, I can showcase, I can drill down and I will showcase the data. But let's say you can see like 9378. Let's filter out. You can see 14K. But when you type in from 10th, it's only 9,000. If you go for 25, it's only 2,000. So it's applying the filter. Okay.
Okay.
Still any questions? So that's the reason I just showed both filters on measure and filters on date, range of values. That's what range of values. And it's similar, like for date, we have filters on uh, measures, we have at least and at most. Similar to like filters on date, we have range of dates, and you can also go for start date, right? So that you can select only starting dates. That's a minimum date or start date. You don't have an option to select max date. And similarly, you can edit the filter. You can go for end date, so that you can select only end date. You don't have an option, it's disabled. So similarly for measures, you have at least, where you can provide a minimum value, and you can go for at most, where you can provide a maximum value. So you can see this is end date. So we have the similar functionality. That is what, let me go for range of dates now. So we don't have, we'll discuss about relate to date. But this is what the flexibility we do have with range of values and range of dates. So where you can select minimum value and you can select maximum value. So similarly for measures, you can do the same thing, correct? Minimum and maximum.
I have a question, Ramesh.
Yes.
When you do drop down on, which example should I give now? On the filters to the right, do a drop down.
This one, okay.
Yes. So what does, you see some of the, like the range of dates, there's a dot there, and all values there's a dot. What does that mean?
Where it is dot, this one?
Yeah.
No, this is the flexibility we do have, as I said. So what filter we are showing? Range of values, right?
Yeah, what does that dot mean? Is it like a special definition for range of values and then all values? Because that dot only appears on, yeah, there's two here as well too.
So it's simple. It's selected. That's the indicator. It's showing that this black dot saying that, hey, you selected at least. That's what you mean. You can provide minimum value, but you don't
Okay.
worry about that. This drop down, because we don't use generally in like when you publish this dashboard, right? So this is for
Okay.
developer options. Okay, we have to use these options to select. This is what the flexibility, where now we are showing range of values where you can select minimum and maximum. Click on drop down, you can select at least, so you can provide only minimum value. You don't, this is disabled. So when you do at most, this
Yeah.
is disabled.
The reason I asked you that question was there was a time where you clicked on the order dates. You see an icon before the order date on the tables to the left. No, to the left. To the
Here,
left, down, no, far left.
this one.
Far left tables, yeah. You click on the icon on the dot, yeah, there's a dot again there.
Now you can tell me why it is, even you can see simple dot in the sense what data type it is selected.
Okay.
That's the
So you
option,
mentioned
like it's kind
the
of a
filters.
radio button. Let
Yeah.
me tell you what region I'm going to select is, you need to tell me, okay? So when you use single value list, which
Okay.
region we are displaying?
Central,
How can you say central?
because it's
This dot,
highlighted there.
it's
Yeah.
highlighted. It's selector, right?
Yeah.
You know this checkbox.
Yeah.
Similarly, what is the data type of region?
Okay. Strange.
String. What is the data type of order date?
A date.
That's what, like whenever you can see the select or whatever the blank dot or selection,
Yeah.
something like
What does this Boolean mean?
Boolean is like true or false. When you select
Okay.
Boolean, you can see T by F, but this is not a Boolean data type, right? That's the reason we are getting an error.
Okay.
Boolean is like true or false. That's the condition we have seen.
Okay. So those are just like naming conventions.
Yes, that's a data type. Let's say, like it's when you type in number, right? This is This is integer. But when you type in decimals, what is this? This is float or decimal value. When you
Yeah.
type in str, this is string. You
Okay.
understand, right? So similarly, default, it will also identify the geographical data type. This is geographical data type. This is string,
Okay.
but geographical role, it is identified as country. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
But what is the advantage is when you double click on country, this field, default, it will create a world map. Okay. So now I can see we are getting United States data. Default, it's creating a world map. But let's go back. Whenever I'm going to remove this, like remove the geographical role, none. Okay. I didn't selected the geographical role as geographical, like I didn't select it in geographical role. What is the data type? String. It's the same. Now, when you double click, initially we double clicked to create a map, right? When you double click on country, now are you getting any map? No, right? Because of the data type, because of the geographical role, like those, whatever the functionality, if you have the geographical type, like role is selected, right? Then it will create a map by default. So if you didn't have the geographical role selected, manually you have to come down here and you can choose. Now double click. Now you can see I'm able to create a world map or whatever the map. You understand, right? Data type is important, but there are flexible, that is what the flexibility of these reporting tools. So it will identify the data type. While loading the data from database, 90% of the cases it will identify the proper data type. You can see postal code identified as a geographical role, country. If you want, you can go for geographical role city, it's pointed to city. We didn't manually select it, right? This is default. Go to state, this is state selected. Go to postal code, you can see zip code or postcode. You understand, right? So based on the data, it is identifying the data type. The data type is number, and even it is also identify the geographical role. That's the advantage of Tableau. If it is not identified as a data type, like, so that will be very tough. So we have to first, before creating those reports, we have to check the data types first. That's the first job we have to do. So at least Tableau is identifying is all these data types and the roles, if it is a geographical role, and that's a flexibility we do have. And even we can also change. I will showcase that. So for some of the calculations, it comes under different category. Like if it is a measure, it comes under dimension. Sometimes if it is a dimension, comes under measures. So how to change that, I will showcase that. Okay. Still any questions? Any questions? So we have relate to date filter. One of the flexibility we do have is relate to date filter in Tableau. So let me showcase that. You'll understand the flexibility of this filter. As I said, it's also a date filter, right? Filters on date, we have range of dates, and see, even I dropped order date into columns and rows, I'm getting year of order date. But now in the rows, I want to showcase at month level. That's the reason I selected month. Okay. So now I want to showcase a range of relate to date. Sorry. What is the advantage of relate to date filter? Very flexible. Like now, let me showcase that. When you drag and drop order date into filter, double click on relate to date. The first option, we have gone through like all these options. The first option is relate to date. And in this particular option, one of the flexibility is even you can filter out across year level or quarter level or month or weeks or days. That's a flexibility. We do have this one single filter called as relate to date filter. Right click, show filter. So what we are showing is this year. What is this year? 2021 sales. When you select previous year, you will get 2020 sales. Okay. When you select last 3 years of sales, so you are going to see last 3 years of sales here. Click on drop down. When you click on this, select this button, last 3 years of sales. You can provide any number, last 4 years of sales, last 5, 6, you can see last 6 years, but we don't have data, right? So we do have data only for 4 years of data, like 2018, 19, 20, 21. So this year, that is, you can see 01/01/2021 to December 31st, 2021. Next year, we don't have data, that is 2022 data. So this year or previous year, last 3 years of sales or last 4 years of sales. Even you can go for quarter level. So one of the project I have done is like multiple things. On one of the project, it's a very simple. Every time they have to go for yesterday sales. And in one of the survey project I have worked, we have to showcase 8 weeks of data. So we have to showcase every time 8 weeks of data, last 8 weeks of data. Now, if you want to get the count of week level, drill down, click on this drop down across week number, right? You should get how many weeks you should get. So week 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 1, 2, 3, it's repeated here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 weeks of data. You understand, right? If you remove month, you'll get more clarity. How many number of rows you are getting? 8. That's what I mean to say. So I want to showcase 8 weeks of data. This is week level. If you are going to showcase, let's bring down the number, 4 quarters of data. Now, why don't you showcase across quarter level? How many quarters you can able to see? So last 4 quarters, you can see here, we are in Q2, right? You understand? We are in Q2, we are in April, that is comes under Q2. So we are able to display this year 2 quarters, Q1 and Q2, and previous year 2 quarters. That's what last 4 quarters of data. Even if you want to select across month level, last 4 months of sales, we are displaying quarter level. You can drill down and you can able to see last 4 months of sales. Any questions?
I'm sorry, I'm asking too many questions.
No, it's good. Yeah.
I'm a bit confused right now. So you have year order dates and quarter dates in columns and rows. So how did you get the sum of sales into the max card?
So yes, remove this. When you double click, where you are getting sum of sales.
Okay, so you are not supposed to drag sum of sales.
If you want to drag, you
column.
can drag and drop into text. That's it. Or you can double click.
Okay. So my question is, how do you know what to drag into rows and what to drag into columns and what to double click?
No, we have, as I said, right, you'll get the requirement, but you need to know how Tableau works. Okay. When you double click where it is placing, or if you want to drag and drop manually into columns, what behavior it is, like how it is behaving, right? What kind of a graph we are displaying, right? Default, we are getting a line graph. If you want to showcase that in a table format, you can click on the first option. If you want to convert into bar graph, you can click on bar. So you will get the requirement actually. That's what I mean to say. So if you want to create a report, you are going to get the requirement document. Hey, create a report like year by sales and year in columns and sales in rows, or year in columns and something like a table format. And if they don't want to create any graph, they'll simply create a text table or create a report based on year end sales. And I want to create a filter so that I can select year or quarter or month. They'll give you the snapshot. If that is a relative date concept, mostly they will understand this is a relative date. If that is a specific kind of a filter, they'll understand this. Or I want to select year, quarter, month separate filters. You need to create separate filter. But you don't worry about this. As I said, right? So if you want to, I just placed quarter or month. I'm selecting, why I'm selecting is for you to understand, because when you select 4 months of sales, how many months you are able to see? 4. When you select 4 quarters of sales, last 4 quarters, you don't understand how the data, like I'm displaying across year and month level, right? But we are showing 4 quarters. How to know where are 4 quarters? If I can convert this month level into quarter level, you will understand, okay, we are displaying Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4, 4 quarters of sales. Let's say if you are displaying last 3 quarters, now you can see we are displaying last 3 quarters. How many quarters you are able to see? Q1, Q2, and Q4. So if you want to display last 2 quarters, now we can see here last 2 quarters of sales. If you want to drill down month level to understand what are all the quarters data we selected, last 2 quarters, even you can also drill down across the lowest level. So that's what I mean to say. I just changed this because for you to understand, because when you select year level, last 2 years, this is good. We are displaying 2020 and 2021, even though we have quarter and month, but we concentrating on year. When you select quarter level, if you have Q1 and Q2, you'll understand, right? Okay, we have 2 quarters. But when you select month level, if you select 2 months or 3 months or 4 months, but when you remove this, you didn't understand, right? If you don't have month, I selected last 4 months of sales, but I want to know what are all the months it's displaying. You can have a flexibility to drill down because it will display month level. That's the next option. Or if you are not unable to place, you can drag and drop order date here, order date into rows. Click on this drop down, select month. That's it. So that is what I'm just showing these options to understand the data, because we have a flexibility to select year level or quarter or month or weeks or days. Okay. So with one single filter, you can select a particular year or last few years or previous month or previous year. But one option you didn't find here is, like, let's say if you want to display 2020 and 2021, right? That is last 2 years of sales, correct? Last 2 years of sales, 2020 and 2021. But if I want to display 2019 and 2020, how can we display? I want to display 2019 and 2020. You understand the question, right? So if I want to display 2019 and 2020, it's not possible from here. Yes, you can display 2019, 2020 and 2021 extra 1 year, because we are using the existing date based on today's date. Whatever the data we have, like whatever the selection you're going to select in filters, based on that you're able to fetch that number of years or whatever the count. But in the previous case, range of date, yes, you can select start date and end date, right? So we can select range of dates where you can select start date and end date. in between any date. You can select if you want to display 2019 and 2020. From here, you can select 2019 and 2020. Okay. So you can see I'm able to display 2019 and 2020. But in this case, relate to date, that option is not possible. But if you want to display last 6 months of sales, you can, this is a flexibility where you can display last 6 months of sales or current month or previous month, something like that. So that's a flexibility with the relate to date filter. Clear?
Yeah, it is.
Any questions? One more interesting point is we actually have 2021, right? So because we downloaded the new version 2021's Tableau,
No, I
but
have the 2020 version.
2020.
Let me,
Okay.
yeah.
Let me save.
Can I update it?
Yeah, you can update. You can download the latest and you can install. You don't want once
No,
you
am I able to use Tableau on, let's say, 2 computers with same license key?
with the same license as I said, right? So I need to get another license because I already shared one license. You both, right, Harry and Simpson. So right. So if you want to use Tableau in multiple laptops or systems, computers, first let's go for one license for now. And if you require, I'll get another one, but I need some time because I need to get one more for John as well. So I'll update on that.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, or let me save this as, so you can see export as version, right? So whenever you are using like, okay, anyhow, I selected 2020 version, so I'm not using any 2021 latest version. Okay. What I mean to say is basically I connected actually. So when you connect Microsoft Excel, I'm using 2021, but let's go back to data source. So when you select 2020 sales, the Excel file, okay, why I'm showing this is whenever you're going to choose the date, this is the old file, right? And you can see we have only 2020 sales data. With the relate to date filter, let's say this order date, and we'll go for month level. The same report I'm going to create here, but this is 2020 Excel file, which we don't have 2021. But interestingly, we have an option called as anchor relate to date. Let's say we don't have data for 2021. Let's say for one of the organization, the services has been stopped in 2020, okay, because of, let's say, COVID-19, because of huge loss, the organization has been closed. In that case, now I'm going to use relate to date this year, okay. If I'm going to use this year sales, okay, do you have this year sales data? You don't have 2021 sales, correct? You have previous year 2020 sales, you have last 3 years, but you don't have current year sales because you don't have the business happened in 2021. You understand, right, what I'm saying? Because in the previous example, we used 2021 Excel file, which we have 2021 data. We are able to select this year to display 2021 sales. But in this case, we don't have this year data because we are using 2020 Excel file, which we don't have 2021 data. But when it comes to like this year, if you don't have data, if you don't have future date or current year sales or whatever the data, We have a flexibility to set the max date. Okay, that is what anchor related to date. We know that we don't have data for 2021, so I'm fixing the date across whatever the data we have, right? So that is 2020 December 31st. So we don't have data for 2021. What I'm saying is, hey, default it will go for today. Okay, you can see it's not enabled, but you can see today. But when you select anchor relate to date, you can select. So I'm selecting manually that I'm saying that this is what the max date available here. So when you select December 31st, 2020, you're able to see, instead of this year, you're able to see anchor year, that is 2020. So when you go for previous year, which is 2019, when you go for last 3 years, which is 18, 19, and 20, last 3 years, it won't consider this year because we set that as anchor date. You understand, right? So if you don't have data, let's say one of the project I have seen, it's long back, 2006 or 2005, the organization has been stopped the services because of huge loss. Even the business has been stopped. Okay, the project has been running because they are doing some analysis where they went wrong, and they have huge data. That's the advantage of data warehouse. Even they don't have business, so they have the projects running here. So what I mean to say is, if you don't have future data, or if you don't have current date, if you have data only, let's say till 2011 or 2012, even you can select the end date here, the anchor date. That's a flexibility we do have, anchor related to date. But generally 90% or 99% of the cases will have real-time data. That is what the first option, what we have seen this year or previous year or last 3 years of sales, right? But you have one more option called as anchor related to date. Clear? Any questions, let me know. So I'll quickly recap if anything is necessary tomorrow. So we'll go through those points again on filters on date. And importantly, we do have 3 different types of remaining, like global filter, cascading, and context. These 2 are simple but important. Context filter is one of the important interview question. This is not much important in real time, but very, very important in interviews. One of the, in top 5, right? Every interview they will ask this question, 99% of the cases, or maybe sometimes you might miss this, but 9 out of 10 interviews, right? They will, for sure, they will ask this question, what is context? So we'll discuss these points tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah. Hello, Ramesh.
Yes, John.
Yes, I just want to add, yes, that context filter, almost every interview that I've done, they asked it.
Yes. So no worries. So we'll discuss that tomorrow. So yeah, in detail. Yeah. Okay.
Hello, Ramesh.
Yes.
Talking about interviews. So I want to just chip in some adverts I'm seeing in Canada. And I want to read out some of the requirements they put in the advertisement. Just give me 1 second. Let me pull up some of these job interviews.